Don't you just love it when JYP whispers into your ears? Hi, it's Matt. Twice just released their latest comeback, Alcohol Free, and in the music video there's a little beach bar set piece that looks pretty cool. So today we're going to make a little diorama of that. And for extra visual appeal, it's going to be inside a Bong Z lightstick. Typically, I prefer having exact dimensions when building stuff, but today we're just eyeballing it. First, I'm using some chipboard to make a very rough model to check out the size of the beach bar. This cylinder was 3D printed and it will fit in the center of the light stick. Looks good. So I'm cutting the actual parts out of 1.5mm basswood with a nice sharp X-Acto knife. Always use a sharp knife so you don't have to apply too much pressure. In between the semicircular pieces, I'm adding matching lengths of 3/16 inch square dowel to serve as framing. As an outer surface for the beach bar, chipboard is glued to the frame and cut to size. The surfboard shaped alcohol-free sign in the back gets cut out of basswood and its 1/8 inch square dowel is glued on its legs. And 2 more small surfboards. Cool, let's paint. All the pieces get some white primer to make a nice even base color. After primer, I did some light sanding to clean up any small imperfections. I'm using some 6mm masking tape to create the vertical stripes. It's always so satisfying to see the clean lines produced after removing the masking tape, but since I did a subpar job taping, a little bit of the acrylic paint bled underneath the tape. Which is okay, you can clean up mistakes. At least most mistakes. The 2 surfboards and sign also get paint. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about painting, and I don't know if watching someone paint flat colors is that interesting. The alcohol-free text on the sign gets painted on by hand. I did my best to replicate the music video styling, and I think it came out close enough. Now, some parts that really excite me. Little wine barrels. They get a coat of brown paint. Looks like I pooped on my hands or something. And with the help of masking tape, I'm giving the thin hoops around the barrel a line of silver paint. Let's move on to the base. I used some sculpt mold to make a surface that looks sort of like natural terrain or a beach. Once dried, the sculpt mold is sanded smooth and can be cut with a knife. The plaster gets some acrylic paint with a color resembling beach sand. It's been a while since I went to a beach, so this is what I think sand looks like. Using some tacky glue, I glued the sign to the back of the container. The barrels and surfboards get glued in as well. Then, to change things up, I used hot glue to glue down the bar surface. To boost the realism factor, I applied watered down Mod Podge and sprinkled fine blended green turf around the sign. Then I used tweezers to glue some small boogers into place for decoration. They get painted red. I went to Michael's and got these flowers for $1, but I only needed 2, so the rest can be saved for some special occasion. One of the pink flowers gets a thin coat of white paint to make it different. Then they are glued into place with hot glue. Beautiful. Now we can move on to the candy bong. I 3D printed the candy bong at 1.75 times of actual size, which gives a bit more room for the diorama. The 3D printed pieces are cleaned up, supports are cut out, and it's sanded somewhat smooth. The opaque white pieces get white primer paint. These are the electronics parts. I love the confidence on a LED strip bag. My life is definitely more beautiful. Thank you. The LED strip gets stuck onto the ring with the adhesive, and the wire is fed through this hole at the bottom. Oh, it's a little small. No problem. That's better. I did 2 revolutions around the ring with the LED strip to get more light output. After doing a quick lighting test at the computer to confirm it won't go boom, the pieces get some coats of silver paint. For the translucent pieces, there needs to be a spot for the Twice logo, so I used this quick cut with stencil vinyl material, and it gave me a perfect mask. Very impressed by this machine. Black spray paint is liberally applied to the surface. Look at that clean Twice logo. Quite satisfying. Now it's time for the final assembly. The micro switch gets screwed onto a small 3D printed mount, which then gets glued into the handle. Using some CA glue, the parts are put together, quick test that it works. The translucent pieces snap into place without the need of glue, so I can repair the lights if it breaks in the future or if I do something stupid. In a last minute decision, I also 3D printed some tiny bottles and glasses for even more visual stimuli. Because I'm too scared of screwing up everything, I offloaded the responsibility for painting the tiny pieces to Eva, and the bottles get glued onto the top surface of the beach bar. That's it. Hope y'all liked this video and enjoy Twice's comeback. Special thanks to Renato for their 3D model of the Candy Bong Z, Tim for his help with Blender, and Eva doing the difficult painting stuff. Thanks for watching. See you next time.